This tour to Alaska gives me my 50th state to play a show in. Our weather forecast for this trip is not what you'd expect. At the time we landed, it was 28 degrees in Alaska and 28 degrees in Texas. Thursday's forecast is exactly the same. Friday's forecast is only 2 degrees warmer in Texas, but Texas gets colder that night. And on Saturday, Texas will eventually warm up to warmer than Alaska for the first time since we left. Almost lost it.
God. All right. Please remove your shoes, Donnie.
This is our first night in Alaska, and we're staying in this awesome Airbnb, which is basically what I imagine Johnny and I would live in if we had both moved to Nashville instead of Austin. Yesterday was 80 degrees in Texas. I sat outside and I was sweaty. I had dinner. Yeah.
I walked the cat.
We have a show today, but Johnny and I aren't playing. It's 3 hours away, so Johnny and I are going pretty much just to have a 3-hour drive through the mountains in Alaska. Excited about that.
When was the last time you played a show outside of Payless shoe stores?
My pop punk days.
Too close.
Outside the Hot Topic. College Station, Texas.
Yeah.
There's a front porch swing to Mama's house and a little stream up in the mountains. Shotgun seat and an ocean breeze. There's a Ferris wheel.
So last night we played our official first show ever in Alaska, which wasn't gonna be my first show in Alaska because there weren't supposed to be drums there.
This is my Alaska drum kit. Let's go check it out. Peisty cymbals, but at least they match. Matching hats. Snare is, what is it? I don't think I've ever played a Tay before. DW kick drum.
I've officially played a show in all 50 states. It's very awesome to be in a new place so far from home and have so many people at your show. I was not expecting to walk in and see that many people last night. It was a small show, but from my seat in the drums, I couldn't see the end of the people. Our show today coincides with the Anchorage annual Fur Rondi Festival, which is short for Fur Rendezvous. It was a fur trapper swap meet that turned into a huge festival throughout the decades. I read that in the 1930s, Anchorage actually made it a law that all men had to grow a beard for the festival. So I guess this counts. I don't know.
Wearing your, oh, okay. All right, well, let me go back upstairs real quick. Johnny trying to outboot me. All right, it is night 2 of our Alaska tour, and we are about to head to the venue. Last night was surprisingly awesome, so we don't know what to expect for tonight. My favorite shows are the ones where we have more people than expected and we have a simple setup. I mean, I love playing arenas with video walls and lights, but I love to be overwhelmed by the crowd and to be underwhelmed with production. I love when the proportions are off, like tonight where we have more people than expected and all I had was kick, snare, and hi-hat and a crash cymbal and a ride. I love having to think on the fly in it's like we're a whole different band. I love having to think dynamically and think, how do if I play the same beat, I can't just, changing volume isn't enough. I have to actually decide on a different beat for a section of a song. I can't just do quiet and then get louder and then get louder. That's boring. I have to be exaggerated in my dynamics. I have to straight up just not play in certain sections and let Granger take it. I have to totally change the flow up in certain sections to make it build better. I've played acoustic shows before where it's a chill crowd and it's a different vibe. You know, you almost sometimes don't even get a beat going. You're just texturing. But when you play an acoustic show and you have 1,000 people show up, it's now a rockin' acoustic show. Today's our last day in Anchorage. We are leaving this morning and headed to Fairbanks, which will be our furthest north show we've ever played.
36 in Dillingham, large portion of the state sitting in the 30s this morning, continues to remain on the warm side.
Tonight we're playing at the Spur in Fairbanks, Alaska. All of these Alaska shows so far have been crazy. We were told that these were going to be acoustic shows. We were told there wouldn't even be PA at some of these shows. Johnny and I were told to not even come because there wouldn't be drums or bass amps in Alaska for us to use. I wasn't told to bring our computer or our tracks rig at all. But luckily, I had our computer in my backpack by accident, but I didn't have a charger. So we scrambled yesterday to try and find a MacBook charger, but couldn't. I just built Clicks in the Tempo app instead. We walked in here today and we thought there's no way we're gonna play acoustic in this place. We found a MacBook charger that may be working right now. The computer's too dead to start. If the computer starts, then I'm gonna run Click and tracks out of the headphone jack of the computer. And then we've got in-ears, we've got a big drum set. All we need to rock out is Todd just needs 2 electric guitars. Dude, so far on this trip where I was supposed to have no drums, I have had nothing but nice DWs and a Yamaha recording custom. And they told me I was gonna have no drums. This was supposed to be acoustic shows, but tonight is obviously, it's just not the vibe for an acoustic show. I have this beautiful Yamaha recording custom kit, and Todd has borrowed 2 electric guitars for the show from a local here in town, and that's all we needed for a rock show. This would be the night. Yeah.
Raise your